Welcome to ALP Corner, Family Law in the heart of Houston.
Welcome back to the ALP Corner, Family Law in the heart of Houston with Miss Allecia L, Pottinger, CEO of the ALP Law Firm. I'm your host, Evan Mack, and today's episode will be episode 12, Social Media and Family Law. What you post can hurt you, Miss Allecia. We have to talk about this social media phenomenon.
Yes, indeed, because there's a lot of potholes that people step in.
Oh my God. So dangerous. So how can social media, a social media post hurt your divorce or custody case, even if it seems like a harmless thing and no big deal? How could it hurt you?
I was thinking of some situations where I find people just benign, just something, pray for me. I'm going through a divorce. Pray for me. You don't want children, because social media gets around town and children end up getting in grown people's business. So you don't want children involved, and the way that children get to stay out of it is that there's no posting, because what they don't know at that time won't hurt them, so to speak. We just don't want kiddos coming around finding out what's going on in litigation. I'm going to court tomorrow, we'll be in court next week. It seems simple, but the bottom line, you don't want to talk about your case, about the other parent, and etc. on social media.
I see this kind of stuff all the time, even on my platform. I find it's on Facebook more than anything. But are there certain platforms or types of posts that courts take more seriously? Because I see people saying crazy stuff about people they're with kids involved and custody involved, people that we know. And I'm like, you are telling everybody this is public space, but it's so I find it to be Facebook. But is there anything that courts take seriously, or is it all up for grabs?
It's all up for grabs, but I'll tell you this. All of them, you can do a video clip, right? And you've heard the old adage, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So
Thanks.
What ends up happening is that, that picture where somebody's all drunk and stuff all by themselves, that doesn't look good in the court, with the beer, and you about to get out there and drive home, and you have to be careful about what you post and who is filming you these days, what you're saying, out in public these days, because it ends up coming back.
Can you give like an example for the people watching at home of a post, maybe something you dealt with in the past, maybe a client that damaged someone's legal position, can you give like a specific post that could really hurt somebody's case?
I had a client that was married. He planned a marriage with the other young lady and went to Jamaica or somewhere and had a destination wedding, which showed up on Facebook.
No.
Yes.
That had to be terrible for this man.
It was horrible.
What did you say? What did you say to him though? What did you say? What did you say? What did you say?
I can't say this in public because y'all, I have that motherly figure. Y'all would think that I said expletive, and expletive. How in the expletive did you feel like you?
Oh, come on. That is an example. Let that be a lesson to you. But okay, what about deleted posts or private messages? Can they still be used in court as evidence? Can you do that? Can it be retrieved? How does that work?
It's still out there. It's still, you never know if somebody has taken a screenshot of that post.
Wow.
See, and it still ends up in court. You looking crazy. So the golden rule: don't post it. Don't say it. Keep it in your head. Nobody can get into your head and and post that in the courtroom door, or in the jury, in front of the jury. No. So
Wow.
yeah, just don't
So
say it.
can you talk to me about safety of social media though? Should they avoid it all and entirely during the course of, would you encourage them to stay off social media and not to post anything on social media during a legal case, literally just during the legal proceedings, maybe just to kind of, maybe just go cold turkey for a little bit, or should they just,
Yeah,
would you advise them just to do certain things or not say certain things?
I am for cold turkey. Stay away, because you might be tempted. I agree.
Mm,
Typing. No. Stop. Just no. Just,
absolutely.
and I try to even, we follow up on our clients' pages to make sure that, we're not going to end up in court with some issues. So we not only look at our clients' posts, but we encourage them not to post, period. Just don't
Mhm.
do it.
So how do you support clients who are being harassed, misrepresented online by an ex? Like, they wanna fire back, they wanna speak their mind. They have receipts, they have screenshots, they have videos, and they're getting
Mhm.
harassed. How do you support a client and kind of literally reinforce that thought that they shouldn't retaliate or they shouldn't get involved in that kind of stuff?
They shouldn't get involved with it. And guess what? There's a mechanism out there that we can use to protect them, and it's called an injunction. We can go into
Mhm.
court, we can file an injunction and say, parent, stop it. You post on social media, there'll be consequences about posting disparaging remarks about the other parent on social media. And then you have to be, the key is that you free speech is a fundamental right, right?
Mhm.
And so we want for people to have free speech, but when it infringes on the child's emotional and psychological health, at that particular point, you can't, imagine how a child would feel when you call the father some, ungodly name, or you call the mother out her name. It's just not a
Mhm.
good look, because that child, it comes from both parents. And so therefore, just don't do it. And if it does happen to you, we can get into court and we can um, narrow the scope so that the other parent can't get out there and do that.
And finally, does Miss Alicia have a golden rule for anybody dealing with the divorce or custody issues while still active on social media? Do you have something like you could put on a bumper sticker that's coming from the ALP Law Firm?
Yes, if you don't want it shown in court, don't say it. Just don't say it. Just please be my ideal client and stay off social media. But if you have to, just remember, don't post anything that you wouldn't want the judge to see.
Thank you
Yeah.
all so much for joining us, and thank you for tuning into the ALP Corner Law in the heart of Houston with Miss Allecia L. Pottinger. To connect with Miss Allecia and her team, head to alplawfirm.com. Like, subscribe, review. You get all kinds of good information like you just heard right now. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Miss Alicia.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave us a review in the comments.